He's like, I know.
I know I'm doing it. I don't know why I'm doing it. Thank you, though.
He introduced all of us to it. No.
Seriously, I sold everyone on her and Disney cruises.
Well, we can pause about Beyonce because my questions revolve around her, so you can talk more about her.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Well, then let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the Fake Bitzes Podcast. I'm Cooper.
I'm Shawn.
I'm Blakely.
I'm Noné.
And this is our first episode of the podcast where we get to just share our passions, talk about what we want to talk about, and honestly open a dialogue about the stuff that we're interested in. And hopefully the people that listen will be interested in it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the political answer. But we love talking, calling each other out. We're a little bit fake, so this is our opportunity to do that with all of you.
That's true. We are fake fans for a lot of things.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's why we are the Fake Bitzes.
Yep. So, what we wanted to do for our first episode is kind of just give an opportunity to introduce ourselves a little bit with a brief interview. So, each of us has prepared an exclusive question for another member of the group. We're going to ask that person, kind of get into it with everybody's thoughts on, their side of things, their answer, and I have my question for Blakely.
We drew these out of a hat.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I had to redraw twice because I got myself twice.
So my question for you is, I want to know what your dream job would be. I knew that would make you excited.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I love my dream job. Obviously, it's my dream. So if I didn't have to have a degree or anything like that, I could just be in this job. It would be a wedding planner. I think it's so fun. Weddings are so fun. I love bitching about other people's weddings. I love critiquing. I love... My whole TikTok feed is for you is all weddings. You see it all the time.
I know, because you send them all to me.
I send them all to you. Yeah, and I love events. So really my passion is events. I love event planning. But weddings are so special and fun, and it's everybody's... Not everybody, but most people have, dreamed and worked hard to get to this point in their life where they're with someone that they love and they commit, and it's just fun to be a part of that and to make that come true.
And make it really special.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and really for them, not for anybody else. It's really what this couple wants, and so it's exciting. So I'm not a wedding planner yet. I'm in the process of getting my wedding planning certificate.
What? Oh my goodness.
Don't be too excited for me though, Noné, because I've been in that process for 2 years.
Oh, you should have started with that.
But yeah, I love it. I think it's so fun.
So I kind of asked a loaded question because I knew that would be your answer. But for a long time, when I first met you, I think your description of your dream job was more broad. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you wanted to go into PR and public relations.
Wow, I'm surprised that you remember that.
I know, right?
Something you should know about Cooper is he has the worst memory ever.
The worst. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to hide it. It's the worst. But no, I do remember this because I just thought, what a cool career path to take. But now that you've kind of honed it into specifically weddings, I feel like that is the most fun part of PR is the events, obviously, and wedding. What bigger event can you have? So anyway, I think that's really cool. And then you were talking about your TikToks and your For You page. There's so much that goes into wedding planning, and I feel like all of it is stuff that you want to be a part of. We talk about from the proposal to the honeymoon, everything in between.
Not the honeymoon, planning the honeymoon.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm there.
I'm here, whatever you need. I have a bag, got some condoms.
Like, you won't even know I'm here. You're totally fine.
It's like the mom on Mean Girls. You guys need a man, anything? Gosh, I love you.
Yeah.
She's like, safe word quesadilla.
Oh my gosh.
So I don't want you to give too much away, but one day we're gonna do a weddings episode on this podcast. But out of all of the things in between the proposal to the honeymoon, what do you think is like the thing that you care most about?
I feel like this is kind of a cliche answer, but it really is the reception that I'm most excited for. Because you can do a reception very wrong, as we have seen recently. Or you can do a reception very right. And honestly, I feel like the ceremony is for your closest friends and family. And yeah, you want to make that nice and pretty too. But the reception is for like everybody that's coming.
That you've ever known, that your parents have ever known.
That your new spouse's family has ever known. Like, and so I feel like that's where people are going to be like talking and, you know, that was really cool, or this and this and that. So yeah, I would say the reception is what I'm most passionate about.
I feel like that's a good point of why you should be passionate or opinionated about that, because you have to find like a good middle ground of like intimate, because it's your wedding and it needs to be special, but then you also need to create like the party atmosphere and also being able to greet people and actually have a conversation so it's not too big of a rager or anything. And yeah, I feel like I can back you up in that is what you are most passionate or opinionated about, because you're always like the venue. The venue is super important. Decorations are super important. And I agree. I don't think that's cliche at all.
Oh my gosh,
No, me
yes.
neither.
If I were to choose something else that I would want to be most involved in, would be the invitation. Because that really sets like, you know, are you excited to get married? Or like, are you... I mean, I don't think anybody's not excited to get married. I hope not. But like the invitation can go so wrong too. Like it can be really tacky, but it can also be like done really well. So I would also want my opinion there. Whenever y'all get married, please ask my opinion on those. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm excited for the weddings podcast episode.
Me too.
Honestly. Which is when?
It's coming up
No,
quick.
I can't put a date on it. Can't put a ring on that one.
Oh.
Shawn, you kept covering your page. Did you have something to share?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
There's nothing. I just am like, look at my bold letters out there for everyone to read.
Was that it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Great question. I
Over
love
to
it.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so I had Shawn for my question.
Oh.
And I feel like to know Shawn is to know that music is a big part of his life. Like a really big part of his life. And Shawn, can you please tell us who your favorite artist is?
Oh, yeah. Beyonce.
Oh, it's Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Nuh-uh.
So
Yeah.
I have a two-part question for you.
Okay.
So my
ask it.
my first question is, what was your first introduction to Beyonce?
Destiny's Child. I just remember those songs and music videos on MTV. But at that time, I was just like, you know, it was like another band at the time. It wasn't, there was nothing specific about Beyonce at that time. It was like, but that's when I was first introduced to Beyonce. But, trying to think, like, solo-wise, definitely the radio. And, in junior high, because she went solo in 2003, I was
Wow,
13.
you even know the year.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
When's Beyonce's birthday? When's her birthday?
Oh no, 9481. Beat it.
And I knew he was gonna say it just like that. Like I knew he was gonna say it just like
It's
that.
coming up. Are you doing something special?
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
Just rewatching all of the content.
All of our content from the concert. She did ask for a gift for her birthday, and that was for everyone to go all out in silver for the last part of the tour during Virgo season. So, and we did that.
What a genius.
But anyway, back to the question. Beyonce, 2003. I really liked her music. I really liked Naughty Girl. Oh, when she was in that music video with Usher, because I was like, Usher. You know, I really liked Usher too. But it was like, oh, Usher and Beyonce are in a music video together, and she's out here slaying, singing those high notes, all this stuff, and also like Crazy in Love was at that time, Dangerously in Love, Baby Boy, and I knew those from the radio and from like music videos because I loved watching music videos growing up. All of the music video channels I just flipped between, and hope something good was on. Not like Next or
Oh my gosh, I love Next.
some of those like ghetto MTV shows they started.
Room Raiders.
Oh my god.
Oh, this was on there. Yeah.
Dude. Anyway, that was a different time. That's what. But then I fell in love with her when I bought my first actual Beyonce CD. It was B-Day. I bought it on a Black Friday. And I was like, also when I had my first car, it was in high school, and oh my gosh, so good. I just was like, listen to that CD on repeat. It was the days of CDs. I was like, just on repeat, and that's when I fell in love with Beyonce.
Wow, I was not expecting you to go that long on that question. But my follow-up question is, so with her, I feel like people give a lot of crap for loving mainstream artists. Like, if you love a mainstream artist, you're basic. You're not in depth. You're not in tune with everything else. I would consider her mainstream, but not super mainstream. So, with that, what has kept you loyal to her for so long? And not shied away because she has become mainstream?
I think that she is like all of it and then goes above and beyond every time she does something. And so, I mean, all of it, and like she's, you know, the triple threat, quadruple threat, because it's like
She can do it all.
Let's
Yeah.
She a threat.
and yeah, like the singing, she's beautiful, she's like can dance and sing at the same time. Her
Vision.
yeah, like the things she sees and like creates and puts together, which I think that's a thing that a lot of people don't understand about Beyonce, and that's where I think there's that disconnect of like Beyonce overrated, blah blah blah. And I'm like, if you knew everything that she does for her, anything that comes out in her name, and she's like the creative mastermind behind so much of it, if not all of it, is insane. And that's the kind of stuff that I try when I'm like really trying to sell Beyonce to people. I'm like, let's look at like her like art, basically, because that's what she creates. Everything she creates is art.
I think that's what made me fall in love with her, is her music videos. The aesthetic is so original. I feel like you can't find it anywhere else. I think you told me that her mom designs a lot of her outfits, right? And I feel like everything that she wears is just a dream. So gorgeous. And then I know this isn't my question, but then the dancing.
Seller.
She's a dancer. She kills it, and you know, has been trained from a young age. So yeah, I totally agree. And then I was just gonna speak to the mainstream thing that you said. While I think Beyonce has a lot of mainstream songs that have become super popular, I don't know, but that's probably where I'd stop with the mainstream, because I think there's so much more to her that isn't appreciated as much as it should be. So.
Yeah, no, I was talking to my cousin the other day, and we were talking about K-pop, and we were talking about, like, American artists and, like, performance-wise. You know, K-pop singers, they, like, sing and dance, but that's, like, what they train to. A lot of these American artists are just, like, people who got famous. So, like, the training is not as much as, like, in South Korea. But when I was comparing it, I was like, the only person who can really keep up with K-pop artists is like, Beyonce. Because she, like, trained, like, she was, like, jogging while singing. So, like, much respect to her.
Yeah.
People who say she's overrated, I mean, you do it.
Yeah.
Show us.
And it, like, to that point, because there's that when she was growing up that she was, dude, we're going to have a Beyonce episode. But, like,
Stay tuned for that.
Also, after she had the twins and had to get ready for Coachella, and it was, like, not long before Coachella that she was, like, she had to rush recovering and getting back into, I think she had a C-section for them.
Really?
I think so. Don't quote me.
Wait, this
watch
was
Homecoming.
Homecoming?
Huh.
So she had the twins right before that?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because the year before she was supposed to host Coachella. And then it was like, she's pregnant. And then people were like, if she's pregnant, she's not going to do Coachella. And then she's like, I'll do it next year. Had the twins. This is how late she had the twins. She had the twins late enough she was performing on the Grammys. And the Grammys are usually like beginning of December. And then Coachella's in like April.
The Grammys are February.
Oh, wait, yes. Grammys are February. And Coachella's in like May or June. Like it's, yeah.
Just a few months. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. She got more time in
She's
her day
not bad.
than all of us.
Well, I'll call myself out. Definitely a fake Beyonce fan over here. I still would consider myself not super fake, but not diehard fan. But because of you introducing me, showing me all the video, the art, everything, like, I have become more of I really appreciate her and what she does. Because I would say that I would have fallen off around, like, Halo era, and then have recently come back. So.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I didn't know all that about, like, your beginnings with her and Destiny's Child. That's cool.
It's the first time I'm sharing with anybody.
Exclusive.
Yeah, that's it. That's my question.
Fun question. Fun enough to do our own episode about it. Me. I'm hosting it. My question is for Noné. For Fatty McBatty over here. Was there another name that we had?
Benone.
Benone.
Yeah.
For Benone.
We have to say why it's a Benone, though, right?
Yeah, that's true. It's from Boomerang Fu, right?
Yes.
We said it on one of the last podcasts. That's why I remember.
Well, I don't know if you guys have ever played Boomerang Fu. Love that game. So much fun on the Switch. Noné was this one right here was trying to figure out puns. He was just spitting them out.
I'm not sorry.
And Noné decided to be a banana. And so he said, oh, look, it's Benone.
It's stuck.
You're so creative.
It's stuck.
It's my favorite nickname.
Yeah.
So that's funny you said that about Cooper, because my question is, who or what would you say was like the most impactful or influential thing or person that drove you to like creativity? Yeah.
Like, surprisingly, like, I never realized it was my mom that she, like, does her creativity, like, with, like, making arts and crafts. But, like, growing up, we all, like, picked something that we, like, wanted to do or something. And so, like, I mean, I guess my, like, way of showing it was, like, dancing. And my mom doesn't dance. Actually, she didn't even... she didn't like the way I dance. So, like, you know, she has no connection to, like, me dancing. But, yeah, anyways, I do feel like that's what really gave me, like, wanting to always, like... I mean, she always like had to be different. Like she wanted to come up with something that nobody else was doing, and so like I kind of feel like I took that like kind of mentality. I was just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do it anymore. Everybody's going, but I also hate people, so no, I'm joking. Yeah, but I would say my mom, in a way, but she didn't like teach me anything like dancing.
Just inspired you.
Yeah,
I love it.
Everybody needs a muse.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. Yeah, because you are very creative and very original, like in your content. Like dancing aside, dancing too, but dancing aside, your content is very original. It's very you. It's very like on brand, and yeah, I like that.
Thanks.
So with dancing, I guess with dancing, were you self-taught? Did you go to classes? Did you like how? Because you're great. Like,
thanks y'all.
How did you get so good?
Honestly, like I'm still like surprised that people like my dancing because I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna hit this move, and then people are like, body positivity.
You're like, yeah, but what about that move?
I'm like, did you not see anything else? But yeah, no. I do feel like, I pretty much am self-taught, and I'm not trying to be like, oh my god, yeah, natural.
Hey, she asked.
Yeah, you did. No, I'm joking. Yeah, no, I just watch a lot of like So You Think You Can Dance and like America's Best Dance Crew, a lot of YouTube videos, and now K-pop videos. Like I watch K-pop choreography like all the time. It's just my favorite. I guess that could also be another inspiration. Just like watching a lot of people dance.
Yeah. I don't want to turn this into a Noné gush session because I know you don't like that, but
so next question.
I had the chance to go to Florida with Shawn and Noné and our friend Ilani, who are all really amazing dancers, and for me that was such a fun trip because I was behind the camera while they were creating all these dances, and watching their creative process was really cool. And the one thing that I want to say about Noné is that he pushes himself and everyone to be their very best in every take, and doesn't care how many times they're going to have to do it. They all had good attitudes about just doing it again and again and again until it was the very best it could be. And I feel like you do that when you're practicing too. You watch it over and over again, you dance it over and over again until you have it down. And I think that's impressive.
Do you know my social security? Wow, yes, valid. Thank you. And thank you for like filming us during those videos because you did a really great job.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so
Really good.
You can check them out on
Ilani's. She got 1 million views on hers, so just saying.
She killed
did?
it.
Yeah, and then one of the other ones, the Rude Boy one, with the levels.
Yeah, I love that one.
Yeah.
It was like
That
right
one got a
before
lot, too.
those people like came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah.
I guess we don't talk about those people.
We don't talk about Bruno.
I was just like,
Y'all did a dance to that too.
That same trip.
which one?
We don't talk about Bruno.
I really like that dance.
Yeah.
And I started liking that song when y'all came back.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like listen to it.
And
so
you
much.
got us to like the pressure one.
Oh, really? Y'all didn't like it before?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh. Contribution. Alrighty, so my question is for Cooper. And it is, you are a great artist. Actually, you're like the best artist that I know. Seriously. And I'm not even just saying that because you that bitch. But anyways.
True.
What is your favorite style to draw and why?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I'm so flattered, first off. But I would say, specifically drawing, I would upgrade that to painting. I feel like my drawings are always so messy that I have to cover them with paint. And then, ironically, I like when it's kind of messy. When it's like that blotchy type of painting where maybe not all the lines are smoothed out. It's a little bit like
more rustic.
Yeah, kind of like when you look at something and it's like on a rainy day and like looking in a puddle. That kind of like almost, I don't know if I'm using the right word, even though I took art history classes and stuff, but like impressionism. That kind of style where it's just suggested that it's there. All the colors are there though, and that's how you know what you're looking at. That's what I like.
That's great.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Thanks for the question.
Would you say that?
Yeah, I was about to say, which one is your favorite drawing that you've made?
Oh, well, okay, so I did in my drawing class that I did not enjoy because it was all pencil. I did one of my brother, and it's like an old picture of him when he was like 3, and he's got on my soccer cleats that are huge on his feet, and he's got on these Mickey Mouse ears and this backpack and his sweatpants, and his teeth are missing, like his teeth are coming in, and he's got this curly hair, and I feel like that was one of the first times where I actually was like, this is good. Like, I did that. And I've seen it, and I was like, it is pretty good. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I am really proud of that one. Like, sometimes I'm surprised that I did it. My sister asked me to do one of her, and I'm like, girl, do you know how long that took me? It took me weeks, and I got a grade for it, and I just don't even know if I can do it again. But it took you weeks? Of that. Yeah. Wow. Because it was one of our, I think it was a midterm is what it was. And so we worked on it, I think, for a full month. And yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Thanks for asking, though. I do love creating, drawing, and I definitely have, a vision of what I want things to be. And it's very rewarding when it turns out the way I want it to be. And then when it doesn't, it's hard, but then I can just push myself to try again, start over, get rid of that one, throw it away, don't let anybody see it, and then make that one of my brother. I actually turned it into a gift for my mom for Christmas. So, yeah.
That's awesome. I also feel like those ones that you're hiding are probably really amazing, and you're just really oh my gosh, this washed up tissue.
That sounds familiar. That sounds really familiar because you do that too, right?
I think the one thing that I love about your work is in watching your process is you're always like, hey guys, what do you think? You're very open to hearing other people's opinions, even though I know your opinion is what matters.
We all know.
Sometimes crazy because I'm like, there's truth to that, but there's also some behind the scenes where I'm like, I want compliments, I don't want.
But it is cool because a lot of artists are very particular of what they want. So I'm not saying you're not particular, but you're very open to, if we say something or, hey, that color, maybe change it to this. You're like, oh, yeah, I could see that. It's very open and not very closed-minded. So that's what I appreciate about you and your work. So I think that's really cool and different.
I appreciate that follow-up because, yeah, I think you're right. I think I am all right at taking the feedback of, oh, maybe you should fix this, maybe you could change this, and then there's usually one or two things where I'm like, I'm not touching that. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Which you're very vocal though about up front, I like this, but I'm open to change here.
Yeah, I set the parameters for sure. Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Thanks for that question.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that was our interview section of the podcast. And now we're going to move on to something a little bit more fun.
I was already having fun.
I was having
fun. Wow. Were you falling asleep over here?
I guess I should say a little bit more carefree, a little bit less, I don't know, intimate, maybe?
Intimate.
I don't know.
Political?
More diplomatic?
I don't know how intimate you guys are going to get with these questions, so let's just see. But we've got a this or that question from each of us that we want to discuss. I want to hear strong opinions. I want this to turn controversial. I want this to be a debate.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So.
Can we use weapons?
No,
he's trying to break up the friend group on podcast 1.
Episode 1. We're done. So, my controversial question, this or that, is Spotify or Apple Music? We're coming for someone on this.
Okay, I obviously did not get the memo with my question.
I can't wait. Can't wait. No, it's really
Is that it? Oh my gosh, that would be funny.
that would be bad.
No. Okay, well, I'm Spotify girl through and through. Spotify.
I'm a
all the
Spotify
way.
girl too. I have been since high school. I don't even know why. I think I had the free version for the longest time. And I actually have a playlist on Spotify that is now almost at 800 songs. It's just instrumental from like movies mostly and other pretty instrumental stuff to put on in the background of like studying or working on stuff.
I listen
Is it
to it
the
so
easy
much.
listening?
Mhm.
I listen to it when I'm stressed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome playlist. I'm very proud of it. And I think in high school I got it up to like 500 songs. And so then, you know, I was like, I can't go anywhere. I can't leave that playlist ever. So I have to be Spotify.
So is that in your top 3 favorite playlists?
Oh man. Don't make me
That's
do
hard.
that.
It's on mine.
It's in
Is
yours?
it?
It's
Yeah.
in mine.
Oh. Then yeah, I guess it's in mine too.
How many playlists do you have on Spotify?
Last time I counted, I had over 70 playlists.
That is insane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working on one for like 3 years straight.
I just add libraries.
Yeah, I need it to be like specific vibes that I want to listen to. Sometimes it's specific artists, but then most of the time it's like, this is the vibe that I'm going for, and this is the playlist that it's set for.
I go for the year. So like I think it's really fun how I can go back and be like, oh, in 2015, this was my vibe and this is what I was feeling. So that's how I do mine.
That's cool.
But Spotify.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
Uh-oh.
Apple. I can't help it. I like it. Before I joined Apple, I was on Tidal.
Okay, that's what I should have said. Is Tidal. I was on Tidal.
The question was Spotify. Right?
Okay.
Yeah, I was on Tidal because Shawn was like telling me about this Beyonce stuff, which I love and respect. But
the way he looked at you like he was scared.
but yeah, and so I got on Tidal, and then like around the time I got on Tidal, I was like starting to really like fall in love with K-pop, like just like the third time I brought it up. Oh my gosh.
You should do
Anyways,
an episode about it.
oh my gosh, like I did. Oh yeah, or will. Or will do. But yeah, so like I was on Tidal, and I started getting to K-pop music, and like Tidal had none. So I looked at Apple Music, and
Here
I've
we
been there
are.
ever since.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
The funniest thing though was when I was telling you, oh my gosh, they just added the entire Lizzie McGuire playlist to Spotify. I'm so excited it wasn't on there. And Noné's like, Apple Music had it the whole time.
True. Very true.
Yeah, I feel like that is one thing about Spotify that I will say is worse. Is there's a lot of things that I'm still waiting on, like the instrumental score to Ever After, still not on Spotify. Very annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it's on Apple Music. I don't even know.
Apple Music has the soundtrack to Practical Magic, so
End of discussion.
yeah,
Period.
versatile. So
I will say the reason that I like Spotify more than Apple Music is not because of the music content. It's because Spotify is more pleasing to my eye than Apple Music is.
The user interface.
Yes.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. I feel like it's... I don't know. Because I still have my Apple iTunes, which is just like... Right. I guess it's kind of still the setup of Apple Music. And it works. But I feel like I've just gotten used to Spotify. I also like the dark mode, which I don't know. Maybe you can switch Apple Music to dark mode. You probably can. But I would agree.
Yeah. Spotify.
oh, Apple does.
Have dark mode. Yours
Yeah.
is on.
Yeah,
I think it's the red.
the red you don't
Because
like.
I agree, it's the user interface. User interface is a big part of it for me. I think it's the red, and I think it's the layout or the formatting of like the song. Yeah.
One thing I do like about Spotify, it's like easier to cue music.
Yeah.
I've seen Cooper do it so many times. I'm just like, I have to like click this button for Apple Music, then click this button, and then
The one feature that Apple Music has that I like better, though, for queuing music is you can put it to the top of the queue or the bottom of the queue, and Spotify doesn't give you that option. It always goes to the bottom. And then you have to rearrange it yourself. So
I feel like I have to keep rearranging, and I just wanted to go to the bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like, I wish it would just, like, add next.
Come to Spotify.
Maybe.
That's where it's at. Okay, that's my this or that. On to Blakely's.
Okay, well, mine is not that controversial. Mine's more of a let's think about it kind of thing. So, not gonna lie, it was really hard for me to think of this, so I had to have some help from Google. My question is, would you rather pause time or rewind time?
As like a superpower or one time?
As like if someone came to you and said, would you rather pause time where it is right now or rewind time to a certain point, what would you rather do?
Like, can you unpause? Like, pause, unpause, pause, unpause.
I didn't think about it as much.
Oh.
I was gonna say, and can you rewind and then go back? Or
I think it's a one pause and done. Like, you pause, you live in the moment for a little bit, and you keep going. And rewind is you can rewind to a certain point, and then you have to keep going forward.
From that point.
Yeah.
Oh, rewind.
Why?
Honestly, I feel like if I were to pick pause, I would end up in jail for, like, stealing. So I feel like if I just go back in time, and I will stop myself from bad decisions. So
I'm not expecting that. I love it.
That just reminded me of the Monsters University where have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Where the purple monster, he's like, they're stealing something, and he's like, I can't go back to jail. Because he's just this nice, like, cute looking monster that you would never suspect. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's you. It's like, oh wow, okay.
Yeah. I've been thinking about that for a while now.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, my first thought was Piper from Charmed. She could freeze time. And that was just like in a little area. So, I don't know. I'm like, there's definitely moments in my life where I'm like, I wish I could pause this moment, live out this vacation, or live out this moment with my people a little bit longer. And so I'd maybe choose that one. The only thing is, like, how long do I hold on to that? Like, how long do I Groundhog Day all of this whole situation before it gets old and it gets ruined? I feel like that would just create a whole nother, like, difficult question in my mind. But then, I'm, like, way overthinking this. But, like, if I were to rewind, again, I don't know where I'd stop. I don't know how far I'd want to go. And I don't know if I'd really want to go back and relive everything or even change anything because, as cheesy as it is, there's that part in 13 Going on 30 where she asks her mom, like, if you could go back and change one mistake, what would it be? And her mom is like, nothing, because everything that I did brought me to where I am today, and it was hard, but it made me better. And I agree with that, and that's why I love that movie. So
it's a good movie.
I would probably pick pause time, just so that I could, one day when I'm feeling that moment of like, oh, I don't want this to end, pause time.
that's crazy because everything.
You should have gone first.
And everything the same is like my weighing those two, and that's why I would also come to pause time because that same thing, because I don't want to change anything in the past that I think there's like I would worry about changing the present.
That was my other question. Was
Butterfly effect.
time machine or magic wand?
Magic wand.
But okay, I want a magic wand. You want a time machine? Yeah.
No, it's because I was over biting my lip.
Magic wand. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to plug another movie, and that is About Time. It's in my top 3 for sure. I think it might be my top one, like number 1 favorite movie of all time because it's all about that. Yeah, you know that?
I mean, I knew it was up there, but I didn't know it was the one.
Yeah, and it's more because of the message that it is. It also makes me cry every time. It is like comedy. There's a comedy element to it. It has Rachel McAdams in it, so
It's phenomenal.
come on. But if you're looking for a movie about that kind of subject, that is it for sure.
About time.
About time.
I've never
That's
heard
great.
of it.
We should watch it.
Add it to our list.
Add it to our
Yeah,
list. Yeah.
it's good.
It's really good.
Did you say yours?
I didn't say mine.
Oh, I was like, someone's missing.
Oh, yeah.
Did you finish your thought?
Yeah.
Okay. I would also pause time because I don't want to rewind. I don't want to relive a lot of the things that have happened in my life. Not because my whole life has been bad or gross or anything like that, but I feel like I am the best version of myself right now. And I love myself, which is actually interesting to say. I love who I am. I love who I've become. And I would want to live in this moment a little longer. Not forever, that's for sure, because I still want to grow and be better, because I can be better than what I am right now. But everything that has happened for a reason, and I love where I am right now. I feel good. So I would pause time.
I'm so happy for you.
I love that.
Beautiful.
Thanks.
And now I want to change my answer. Just kidding.
We're still 3v1.
Yeah.
Someone has got to get on Noné's side.
Seriously.
Okay, Shawn, it's up to you.
Okay. I have like written so many. I'm like, which one do I want to do? Let's say, would you rather be the superhero or the villain?
Ooh.
And I think, like, you know, when you're playing video games or something, what side do you like to choose? The dark side or the light side or whatever?
Okay. I have an answer right here. I would be the villain. I would be the villain because as much as I want to say that I would love to be the superhero and do all the good shit, no. I want to be the villain and do all the bad shit and not have any repercussion. Like, no, are we saying in real life? Or like...
No, like, when you... I think for fun, like,
okay.
Would you rather be a villain character or a hero character in a video game or the story or...
I just think they have more fun. They have so much more fun.
I agree. I'm always jealous of actors in movies. I'm like, I bet that role was so fun to play. Kate Blanchett as Hela. Like, come on. She had so much fun. Ian McShane, Barbosa, his name is evading me. Jeffrey Rush. Yeah, like, those guys, I think. Davy Jones.
I don't know his
Who
name.
played Voldemort?
His name is Bill Nye. Remember?
Not the science
Voldemort?
guy.
That was Ralph Fiennes. There's a right way to pronounce his name, and I definitely don't pronounce it right. But yeah, I would agree. Villains have more fun, even just in acting and video games. However, in Hogwarts Legacy, it was really hard for me to like choose to learn the bad spells because I'm like, I feel so evil. Like I can't do it. Like this is my real world. Like I can't.
Meanwhile, me, who hasn't even played Hogwarts Legacy but has played Harry Potter Lego, when I get a dark villain, I'm Avada Kedavra everybody.
Just everybody walking past her for no reason.
And so he doesn't get mad at me, but he laughs at me because he's like, "Okay, come on, let's go."
We have a job to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely the villain.
Yeah.
Because I do agree, it's more fun because they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna do what I want anyways. But like lately, I started watching a bunch of anime, and like they get into like a lot of backstories, and like I do feel like villains are like super misunderstood, or like the world was bad to them at one point. So like they like ended up the way they are because the world is what it is. So yeah, that's why I like the villains a little bit more. They have more character.
They have more depth to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part.
I'm glad you said that because, yeah, I think the backstory helps a lot with the character, and I don't think there's a lot of villains who think that they're the villain. They think they're doing the right thing because of their past, because of how they were raised, because of what they've experienced. And yeah, it does make them a lot more interesting than some of the heroes.
Yeah.
What about you?
I usually choose the good side or the hero,
Lame.
and I still would.
Oh, why?
I'll take all of you on.
He would win.
Because he pays taxes.
He always wins.
Sean's also just like by birth lucky, so he would win.
And good at everything.
But explain why.
Why? I don't know. I can't do it. I feel like I don't know. I've never been drawn to like being on the bad side of like, I'm going to kill people, or like, okay, so like dark side of Star Wars. Obviously, they kill people. They're mean.
Maybe you could be a bad guy that doesn't kill people.
Like Doofenshmirtz.
Who's that?
From Phineas and Ferb?
You're joking.
I mean, I know of the show. I never watched it. I know there's a parody.
I mean, you're not missing... Yeah, there's a parody. You're not missing much, but it's kind of
I
critical.
disagree. I think you're missing much.
That's how I feel about
Anime.
So, and any of those games where it's like choose your path throughout, you make little choices and it will lean you more on like good or bad. It's like Fable was one of them, Skyrim's one of them, and it's like I always am like I can't do the BioShock, harvesting the girls or
saving them.
Mm-hmm. I could never bring myself to harvesting them. And so
harvesting,
to fill anyone
I don't even
in,
want to know.
Yeah.
They're just like possessed, and so you're taking their power.
Yeah, you're taking something from them. That's
you can
like
either like take it from them so that
them.
they're. I don't even know because I didn't
like
harvest
a little
it. I just saved them.
slug, poison,
Slug, power.
Yeah, but I can never do that stuff, and so that's Hero.
You know, sorry, I just want to point out, like, I do that too. Like, I feel guilty for making those decisions, and then on my next game, with the new game plus, like, so I could have all my I'm going ham.
Yeah,
like, everybody's my target. Like,
I get that. Yeah,
That's fun.
definitely Grand Theft. Sorry, I was gonna say Grand Theft Auto. That's somewhere where it's like you can choose to be a great citizen in the city or not, and I'm like, that's one game where I'm like,
You kind of have to be.
yeah, give me that missile, like rocket launcher and helicopter, and we're gonna
rocket launcher.
What were you gonna say? Okay, yeah.
Oh, I think I was just gonna say it does depend on the game. Like for Hogwarts Legacy, once I finished the main story, then I started using them for Gilgul curses because I want to experience it. But with those choices that you're making of like choose your own adventure type of a thing, I do want to see how I would turn out in that situation and what I would really choose. And my instinct is to lean. I'm a good guy. Like I would make the right decision for the most part. Yeah.
I can see that.
I think to kind of overlay this is in real life we're all really good people. But it is fun sometimes to dive into the naughty side.
You trying to do coke? No, I'm joking.
And just see what it's like sometimes. Especially not to get like way too into this, especially like for me growing up where I was told no. It's fun to be like, oh yeah, I can do that.
Do whatever I want.
Yeah.
I feel so similar to you because like it was always like no growing up, and I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this. Like, well, I'm gonna do that. Oh, okay, let me try it. You know, it's way more fun. That's why I'm gonna be a villain.
Villain era.
Yes.
Yeah.
Villain season.
Good question, Shawn.
Yeah. Okay, my question is a really good RPG video game with a good storyline, or a really good multiplayer game.
What's RPG?
Role-playing games.
Okay.
Like games, you know, that just...
Like a one player
Yeah.
or a multiplayer.
Like Resident Evil 4, the remake or whatever. Like a really good, like, role-playing game.
Uh-huh.
Or a good multiplayer game.
Like
Boomerang Food. Like,
okay.
You know, like
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
I would choose multiplayer. I don't know if I really enjoy playing single, like Kingdom Hearts. Shawn let me play that on his, and he just like would watch me And I'm like, is that fun for you? And it was for him for some reason, right?
Yeah.
But like for me, I'm like, it wouldn't be if roles were reversed. And I definitely like it better to do like a co-op type of a thing or multiplayer. Like when we play Mario, I love that. So I pick multiplayer.
Can you have both?
So
This or that. Not
Because
this
I'm like,
and that.
Borderlands is like both. And that's a game I think of is like multiplayer, but it's RPG-ish. Anyway, I would say multiplayer. Something to play together versus something to play alone. Even though there's a ton of good RPG games, I played a ton of them, but I do like playing games that other people can play as well. Because I can like competition.
You have none. You have none.
Have you found it yet?
Still
Yeah,
looking.
everyone here is always competing.
Fake
What?
Bitzes.
I would say by default my answer has to be multiplayer because I've only ever played one single player game.
What game?
Disney Dreamlight Valley. However, I get really competitive. Everybody at this table knows that. Like bad. And so
Sometimes.
I feel I feel like I do a good job most of the time keeping it in the game. Sometimes I bring it out, but most of the time it stays in. And so I feel bad, but I love multiplayer games because it is fun being with people, trash talking, having fun, and just like it's a good time for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then solo games are good and fun, but I would lean towards multiplayer.
I prefer RPGs. And it's only because like I feel like when I'm playing with like other people, I like suck. So like when I'm playing solo and I just like have to do this and put it over here and then do that, I'm like when somebody's telling me what to do, I feel like I'm like a really good gamer. So I definitely feel like solo, and plus I like a really good storyline too. So definitely RPGs.
That's why I'm telling you gotta get Borderlands because it's an RPG multiplayer, and then it'll be the best of both worlds.
Specifically Tiny Tina's Wonderland.
Really?
I think
Like we could
it's
play
the best
online multiplayer together?
Yeah, is it more than 2 people or just 2?
Yeah, more than 2.
See, I mean, even with that, like, when I play with these and we're on the same team, I'm slacking.
Like, so no, I'm not interested.
I'm just saying, like, you guys are just really good at playing video games, and I'm like, thought I was, so.
Okay,
You
but
are.
when you're not playing, I'm slacking. Sean's always carrying the team, like, no matter what. So,
Don't you hate that?
I mean, I'm also like, yeah, do the work. I'll just have fun, find the fun guns, and, like, you know,
That is true.
mess around.
Yeah.
And then you add me to the mix. It doesn't go very
It's like,
well.
let's go back to Mario.
Yeah.
Well, this was episode 1 of the Fake Bitzes Podcast. Thank you for listening. We'd love to know any of your thoughts about our this or that's. If you have a this or that you want to comment, drop them in the comment section, and we'll be back for episode 2. Bitzes out.